Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news, with the new year, it could bring new changes when it comes to SNAP benefits, and some families might get shut out.
Plus, we have an update on a 3-alarm fire in Lincoln where more than a dozen units had to help battle the flames.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Monday. But first tonight, we do want to start with your weather. A slick morning for many today.
And it looks like we still have some flurries and light snow coming down this afternoon and evening. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins for the latest. Rusty?
Yeah, we've had light snow showers, light rain showers, a little freezing drizzle, freezing mist, It just kind of been a mess out there in some spots. Treated roadways should be okay, but those side streets and untreated surfaces likely on the slick spot. So because of that, we have winter weather advisories in place for southeastern Nebraska. This just goes through the next hour. So through 6 p.m. tonight, places like Lancaster County, as well as Gage County, Jefferson, Saline, and areas east and just a little to the north. Just another hour left on that. So we'll keep an eye on that. And this is kind of what's out there right now. Just some very light snow. It looks like it's transitioned to just snow now because temperatures have really started falling off. So you might see a few more snowflakes, but we're about the only spot seeing snowflakes. Clear skies for central and western Nebraska. Here's what it looks like in Beatrice. Shown roofing cam showing a wet street and a lot of cloud cover and maybe a snow shower every now and then as we head through the next couple of hours. Not expecting too much of any accumulating snowfall. That may come later. Temperatures 22 degrees right now in Beatrice. We're at 16 in Grand Island, already down into the single digits for the northern half of the state. So hour by hour, we'll all fall into the single digits by 6 a.m. and that wind chill will drop to about 5 to maybe 10 degrees below zero by early tomorrow morning. Then, this is what we're going to talk about in Maine weather. Starting Wednesday, a winter storm watch for about the entire state and wind chill warnings and wind chill watches in place Wednesday and lasting through possibly Saturday. So there is a lot to talk about for this upcoming possible winter storm. More on that in a few.
Sounds good, Rusty. Thank you very much. And speaking of our weather, today could be just a warm-up of what we might expect for the end of the week.
That's why experts are reminding all of us on the risks of exposure. Channel 8's Veronica Barreto joins us live here in the studio with more. Veronica?
With the potential of brutally cold temperatures, risks for hypothermia and frostbites rise. The National Weather Service says even a short period of time outside can be harmful. Experts are saying if we do get extreme temperatures, any exposed skin could get frostbite in 10 to 30 minutes. In order to stay safe, the best thing to do is probably try to stay inside. But if you still need to go outside, there are some tips you might want to follow.
If you're going to be out driving around, you should have your coat with you, your hat, your mittens, you maybe an extra blanket in the car, a full tank of gas. So just planning ahead, some extra precautions so that if you do become stranded, that you have some, a tank of gas.
Experts are also reminding people to take care of pets and livestock and keeping them warm. And if you're planning to travel for the holidays between Wednesday and Thursday, experts say you should start planning now and getting ready for potential snow in addition to the bitterly cold temperatures.
All right, Veronica, thank you. And with potential winter weather on the way later this week, it's time now to prepare if you have to drive in the snow.
AAA has these recommendations to be ready.
Keeping your vehicle with routine maintenance is a good thing to make habit of. You can keep your vehicles road ready by ensuring this, like I said, scheduled maintenance is completed. Have an inspection of your battery done, your brakes, your belts, hoses, oils, fluid, tires, or other vehicle systems. That can help prevent inconvenient and costly breakdowns.
AAA recommends having emergency supplies in your vehicle. That can include snacks, blankets, extra clothes, cell phone charging block, shovel, and a first aid kit. Of course, it's advised to not be out on the roads if you don't have to be, but if you do, you have plenty of time to travel and take your time. The weather will continue to be an issue for travelers throughout the week.
StarTran is already telling riders about potential delays this week as buses may be late. They're recommending all riders allow for extra travel time and dress warmly as the temperatures continue to drop throughout the week. And the brutal cold can raise the risks of fires,
especially when people use alternative heat sources like space heaters.
People, if they are going to use an alternative source of heat, be it a space heater or whatnot, it should plug in directly into the wall. We discourage uses of extension cords when we're using those space heaters because they draw a lot of current and they tend to short out, and that causes a lot of problems.
LFR also advises people to make sure there is a 360-degree 3 to 5 foot radius between the space heater and any flammable material like blankets and clothing. Also, never put kerosene or propane heaters inside your home. They need to stay outside for proper ventilation. Having them inside your home is not only a fire hazard, but also presents a carbon monoxide hazard. And speaking of carbon monoxide, it is important to have CO detectors on every floor of your home. We have new details on a late fire last night here in Lincoln.
It broke out around 10:30 last night at Comey Auto Sales near 22nd and Y. There was heavy smoke when crews arrived and large flames on one side of the building. More than a dozen units were called to help out with the blaze. No one was inside at the time.
Crews are still monitoring the building for any hot spots they might have missed. Tonight, investigators say the cause has been determined to be electrical, with a total damage around $225,000.
It is time now to get you updated on some crime news here in Lincoln. Monday morning, police were searching for a red 2020 Ram truck worth around $70,000. It was stolen from the owner's driveway on Lakeshore Drive in the Capitol Beach neighborhood. Later, that same vehicle was spotted near 42nd Street and Normal Boulevard. That's where a 59-year-old woman reported she was assaulted by 4 unknown males and had her purse taken, saying one man hit her twice and knocked her to the ground, then produced a handgun, and then left the scene in that stolen Ram truck. Police say not to approach the vehicle if seen. Call police instead. On Friday, police were called to 2 robberies, both at the victims' homes. The first victim, a 39-year-old, said he heard a knock on his door near 13th and E, and an unknown male displayed a handgun. The victim said he had just moved in 2 days prior and had nothing to steal. Police are also investigating a similar robbery near 51st and Prescott, but have not said whether the two are connected. A 22-year-old also described a knock on the door, but the suspect asked to use his phone. When the victim handed over his phone, the suspect pulled out a handgun and took the victim's wallet. The victim was able to cancel his credit cards before any money was spent. The investigations into these 2 crimes continue. All right, covering Nebraska now. About 150,000 Nebraskans rely on SNAP benefits to help buy groceries.
But eligibility for those benefits could be changing soon. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleiter has the details.
Despite historic inflation and high grocery prices, many households that currently qualify for SNAP benefits may not in the near future, putting further pressure on those who already need assistance. SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, a federal program managed by each state to help households buy food with an electronic debit card. Back in 2021, the program's eligibility expanded to allow more people who were struggling during the pandemic to get help.
During the heavy time of COVID, that is what allowed a lot of these families that we work with, that other nonprofits work with, essentially allowed them to continue to meet their basic needs while maybe they didn't have a job or were laid off with no pay.
Community Action says that a lot of jobs lost during the peak of COVID-19 have come back, but there hasn't been a drop in need for assistance. Right now, eligibility is 165% of the federal poverty guidelines, but if the expanded eligibility were to expire next year, it would return to 130%. That means that currently a family of 3 qualifies with an income of around $38,000 a year. If the expanded eligibility drops next year, that cutoff would be lowered to $29,000.
It's a pivotal time right now to really take a look at what families need. There's a lot of conversations going on regarding living wages, regarding jobs that are available, and things like that. And you can see with the low unemployment in our state, families are working. Where they're struggling right now is making those ends meet.
Community Action and other organizations say they're looking to have Nebraska's lawmakers extend the current eligibility before it expires in 2023, or even make it permanent.
Lots of folks are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs to make ends meet, and so without supplemental nutrition assistance through the SNAP program, losing those benefits might mean people have to choose between medicine and rent and food for them or their families.
They say it's not just one demographic being affected, that working families, retirees, both part-time and full-time workers are all potentially at risk of losing benefits. Reporting in Lincoln, Matthew Mittleiter, Channel 8 News.
And last year, 72% of people who received SNAP benefits in Nebraska were families with children, and 30% included someone with disabilities. Still to come on the news tonight, it's in a final public hearing. The January 6th Select Committee has referred former President Trump to face criminal charges.
All the details plus a look at your full forecast with Rusty right after the break.
The January 6th committee has wrapped up its final public hearing.
The panel has referred former President Trump, lawyer John Eastman, and some others to the Justice Department to face criminal charges. Here's ABC's Ike Ajachi.
Tonight, in its final public hearing, the House Select Committee making clear they believe the evidence they've revealed through their investigation shows former President Donald Trump was responsible for the events surrounding the deadly January 6th Capitol attack.
Among the most shameful of this committee's findings was that President Trump sat in the dining room off the Oval Office watching the violent riot at the Capitol on television.
According to the panel's executive summary that was released to the public shortly after the hearing, the committee is referring former President Trump, his former election attorney John Eastman, and others to the Department of Justice for possible criminal prosecution. They said the referrals to the DOJ are based on several criminal charges, including conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstruction of an official proceeding, and inciting an insurrection.
Ours is not a system of justice where foot soldiers go to jail and the masterminds and ringleaders get a free pass.
The panel is also referring 4 Republican members of Congress to the Congressional Ethics Committee for not complying with lawfully issued subpoenas from the committee. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, Representatives Jim Jordan, Scott Perry, and Andy Biggs.
We were invited by the President of the United States!
The panel playing a video montage highlighting key moments of testimony from witnesses, as well as new testimony from some of the former president's closest allies that suggests Trump tried to obstruct the committee's investigation.
One lawyer told a witness the witness could, in certain circumstances, tell the committee that she didn't recall facts when she actually did recall them.
Now, although the DOJ maintained its independence from the committee's work, sources tell us that they are interested in transcripts from the committee's witness interviews, as well as any evidence that shows Trump or his allies attempted to contact witnesses. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
And now to the crisis along the southern border, where cities are bracing for a surge of as many as 5,000 new migrants a day.
Border cities are scrambling to find shelter for thousands of migrants as temperatures continue to drop. City officials in El Paso, Texas, declaring a state of emergency. There is already an historic number of Department of Homeland Security agents at the border.
DHS has deployed additional agents and processing capabilities to El Paso, and 23,000 agents are working to secure the southern border.
That Title 42 will remain in place right now as Chief Justice Roberts temporarily freezes an order meant to end it. The White House is also asking Congress for $3.5 billion in funding to assist with the influx of asylum seekers.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Fresh coat of snow out there as we head into Monday evening. Southeast Community College looking down at maybe a quarter of an inch, maybe a half an inch in some spots. Didn't really amount to much, but at 84th and O you can see some tracks in the snow there. So a fresh coat of snow, and that's just kind of a heads up. That's just, there's more to come. Wait till you see everything I got to talk about tonight. And there's a lot. Temperatures, though, starting to cool down. We're in the upper teens and lower 20s. It's 19 in the capital city right now, 14 York, Central City at 11, Columbus at 13. A little warmer, though, off towards Fall City, 37 and 35. So obviously cold air is pushing in. This is anywhere from 10 to 20 to almost 25 degrees colder than we were 24 hours ago, but 5 to 10 to 9 degrees warmer in Nebraska City and Falls City. So things are changing, and there's due in part to, notice the winds out of the north here, out of the south here. So a cold front is moving through, and it's responsible for these snow showers right here. Now I'll zoom out and show you that that's it. There's really nothing else out there except for these light snow showers just south of Interstate 80 between Omaha and Lincoln. So over the next 24 hours, not a whole lot is going to happen. Cold air is going to push in. It's going to be a chilly day tomorrow. I think we'll see a mixture of clouds and sun, more sun than clouds for a good portion of the day. Cold air just kind of entrenches itself. We're going to see highs barely making it into the middle teens, maybe the upper teens in some spots. So let's fast forward. This is Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours. This is 2 p.m. Wednesday. Snow starting to spread across the state, moves a little bit to the south, and notice it's kind of everywhere. It's not one big, huge, just blob of snow. It's just kind of spreading out. This is Wednesday afternoon. Then here comes another wave by 10:30 Wednesday night, and then as we head into early Thursday morning, still another chance for snow, and then that moves off to the south and east, and we're left with a quiet but very, very cold day. So this is just part of it. This is a winter storm watch in place starting Wednesday, and it'll likely go through Thursday. Now, winter storm watch is just a heads up. It's just saying something's going to be coming our way as we head towards a specific time frame, and this will eventually change into either a winter weather advisory. That means it's kind of on the lower tier. Winter storm warning, which means bad, but not really blizzard warning bad. So I'm thinking one of these two is most likely for a good portion of the state as we head through the day. Then tack on a gusty north to northwest wind at anywhere from 20 to 40 miles per hour, and you have wind chill warnings everywhere. Everybody's shaded in pink here. That means that you're going to see wind chills that will be well below 20 degrees below zero and more. And wait till these are the actual temperatures. So let's go through this. This is as we head through Thursday morning. Notice those temperatures drop to around 3 degrees below zero in Lincoln, and everybody else way below, actual temperatures way below zero. Then as we head through the day Thursday, this temperature does not get above zero. So it is going to be brutally cold as we head through Thursday into Friday, and maybe even into Saturday. Tack on this gusty north wind, maybe 50 miles per hour. Remember, those temperatures were below zero the whole time, and now we're looking at 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. So wind chill will look like this as we head through Thursday. It's already 30 to 40 to almost 50 degrees below zero, and then as we get into early Thursday morning, 50 degrees below zero, maybe even close to 60. And then as we head through Thursday into Thursday night, Friday morning, 30, 40, 50 degrees below zero for a wind chill. So gusty northwest wind, brutally cold temperatures. It is just not going to be safe to be outside for an extended or any amount of time, really. Wind out of the north at only 5 to 15 tonight, dropping to around 5, maybe 6 degrees, and then highs tomorrow, 15 to maybe 20 degrees. So 7-day forecast is not a pleasant one. Fairly mild-ish on Wednesday, and then that chance for snow kicks in as we head Wednesday into Thursday. Cold air really pours in. 3 degrees below zero for a high on Thursday, 0 for a high. That might be a little optimistic on Friday. And if you think about it, if we do not get above 0 on Friday, we will be at 0 or below from Wednesday night all the way into Saturday. And then Christmas comes our way and it starts to finally warm up back into the 30s for next week. But this is going to be, we're still a couple of days away from this winter storm moving into our area, so we're going to fine tune everything as we get closer. Pay close attention to the forecast. If you have any travel plans, it's not going to be pleasant.
You know, it makes me wonder, maybe for a weather trivia question, what is our coldest Christmas on record? I don't know.
That'd be a good one.
Do we know a guy who could figure that out for us?
I think we know a guy.
Yeah? Okay. Well, maybe we'll get the answer later. Thanks, Rusty. A negative day on Wall Street. The Dow falling 163 points. NASDAQ is down 159. S&P also losing 35. Here are your numbers. We'll be right back. Finally tonight, one elementary school principal is pulling double duty as both a life-sized elf on a shelf and a human ice cream cone.
Jeremy Roth explains in tonight's Take a Look at This.
An Indiana principal is going viral after showing she's all in on Christmas by going all out as a life-sized elf on the shelf. It's only Beth Hoeing's first year as principal of Southwestern Elementary School in Shelbyville, but she's already worked her magic on the kids, greeting them daily while festively festooned head to toe as the famous holiday elf.
Every day when they're walking out, they say to me, I can't wait to see what the elf is doing tomorrow. It's all for the kids. As long as we're doing something for the kids and the kids are enjoying it, that's all that matters.
The kids aren't the only ones enjoying it. TikTok vids of Hoeing's doings have racked up more than 12 million views. And if her elfin antics weren't enough, she recently rewarded her students for meeting a holiday charity fundraising goal by letting them turn her into a giant ice cream cone. That is one principal who's in it to win it.
Everybody give it up for Mrs. Hoeing.
And from an over-the-top ice cream party to a pajama party for pets. That's what went down at this Denver, Colorado animal shelter as families were invited to come out dressed in their PJ best to read their favorite bedtime story to shelter animals in the facility. The kids enjoyed hot chocolate and cookies while bidding the adoptable cats and dogs sweet dreams through storytelling. The shelter says the sold-out event was a great chance for the kids to have one-on-one time with the animals while getting some good practice at reading as well. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
We have temperatures that are going to be on the chilly side the next couple of days and downright cold as we head into Thursday. That -3 is the high projected for the day, so an Arctic blast headed our way. Snow starts up Wednesday night and goes through early on Thursday.
All right. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you at 6.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We only do one thing at Comfort Made Mattress Factory, handcraft the highest quality mattress possible. It's backed by a lifetime comfort guarantee. Come see us.
Closed caption